Hello all. I am going to do a quick demo on really the 4 or 5 components of TEKS resource that I feel like are the most beneficial. I'm going to go to my class link to get to my TEKS resource. If you're having a hard time getting in, let me know. I can get your password reset for you. So I'm going to go in and find my TEKS resource here. I'll sign in. Now I'm going to pick a subject and grade level. So I'm going to pick 6th grade and I'll pick math just for a demo and search. So a few areas that I feel like are most beneficial for teachers because it can get a little bit overwhelming to look through all of the documents. So I'm just going to highlight what I feel like is most beneficial in this math area. I'm going to click on the vertical alignment chart. This is just going to give you vertical alignment that's before you and after you. So I'm going to scroll down past the introduction piece. Now you can start to see that I'm looking at grade 6. I have grade 5 and I have grade 7. I can view higher grades, I can view lower grades. But if I'm getting ready to do a lesson on the 6.1e, I can see what are they supposed to be coming to me with and what do they need to make sure they're ready to leave me with. You can also see they will document if it is readiness or supporting. So I know if I am the 6th grade teacher that these students should be coming to me with this solidly in place for them as a learner. And when they leave me, I need to make sure this is solid because it's not extending. There's going to be some building on it, but they have to have a solid understanding because it is a readiness standard. Then you have your supporting standards. So this looks like it will be just scaffolded here, and then it's going to be a readiness standard at some point later in an upper grade level. So you can kind of see how that works, but you can also click in and get some specific notes. That's great to help you with just some lesson planning to know where they're coming from and where they're going. So that's vertical alignment. Another vertical alignment piece that I really like with the math is down here at the it's in the section resources. So if I go here to this math vertical quick guide, I like to open this one that is it has more specificity, and I've shared it with teachers. You can print it on an 11 by 17 paper. So it's going to download over to my left. I'm going to open it up. And now you can see when we talk about using academic vocabulary, what vocabulary I need to be using to make sure that I'm linking for that next grade level. Sometimes we inadvertently use some fun terms, but it's really important so that we don't create this Swiss cheese effect with kids where they don't know how to, because they often compartmentalize their learning in one grade before they go to the next. They don't know how to link the vocabulary. They think they're two separate things when I may be using, I always give the alligator mouth for greater than, less than. In my 2nd grade class, I'm showing them and talking to them about the alligator eating the bigger number or pointing at the little number. But I never say that's a greater than, less than sign. So when you're looking at this vocabulary, you know I need to be using these terms somehow, even if it's just linking it and telling them that when they get to the next grade level, the teacher's going to call it this. That helps them build some schema. So this is just great for academic vocabulary and understanding what's happening with concepts as you go through those standards. So I'm going to go back to my TEKS resource page, and I'm just going to hit the back button. A couple of other things that are important. You do have this year at a glance right here, but even more important, I feel like, is this TEKS verification sheet. This is a good, even if you don't follow the same scope and sequence, we all have to teach the TEKS, especially those readiness TEKS. So you can come in here and you can see what is their suggestion as far as when TEKS should be taught, and you can see these right here, which are these process standards, are spiraled all year long. But then you have documented supporting standards and readiness. So here's a readiness standard that's taught in the first 6 weeks, and then there's some spiraling or some ongoing learning in the second 6 weeks. So they're suggesting, it's just a good suggestion, make sure we don't just teach it once, that there's some spiraling going on. Then you can see here's some supporting standards that are ongoing. Here's a readiness that they're teaching second 6 weeks and then they have ongoing practice. Here's one supporting they teach once and then maybe do some spiraling in 6 weeks. So you may not follow that exact scope and sequence, but it gives you an idea of spiraling, what the recommendation is for spiraling, specific readiness standards, and supporting standards. So that would be good to print off and just have in your lesson planning book as a reference. And then the last thing that I share with teachers is this very bottom part, this instructional focus document. They drop things into units. So when they attack something in this IFD, they're attacking it with a performance assessment usually, and they're using lots of different TEKS to hit that one performance assessment. So right here, actually I'm going to go to ordering fractions, decimals, and integers. You have a unit overview always. You always have these overarching kind of guided questions. What are you going to be working on? And then you have these performance assessments that you can use. They're ready-made. So if you're needing something for a tech, this is a great resource to go to. Basically walks you through exactly what you need to do and say with the students. And then you can see these standards that this performance assessment is hitting. Oftentimes there's 1, 2, or 3 of those. In this part I really like the misconceptions and underdeveloped concepts, and then you have the unit vocabulary. You can keep going down and there's more resources and some guidance, but my favorites are the performance assessments that you can use with your students because it's step by step, and then your misconceptions, what is going to trip up my kids on this lesson, and then my unit vocabulary. So to go back, I'm just going to go up here and go back. So just to review, I covered, this was a vertical alignment before and after the tech you're using. Then I showed you down here are resources, this vertical alignment quick guide. Then we looked at the TEKS verification chart. That's great to print out and highlight and just give some guidance. And the instructional focus documents, that's actually where you can get some lesson planning ideas for some performance assessments, misconceptions, and vocabulary. If you ever want to do a tutorial or shut down and have me go over that with you, I'm happy to do so at any time. Let me know if you have questions or you can't get logged in. I will get you hooked up. Thanks and have a great day.